Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the JKWD podcast. It occurs to me that I just said the phrase welcome on back, and that doesn't seem to make any sense to me. Is that even a phrase? Did I just...
I think a phrase can be anything you want it to be if it serves your purpose.
Did I just flatulate orally?
I'm not going to give you that one. I think welcome on back was welcome on back. Like, come on back, Carter, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it works.
All right.
I think it works.
Anyway. How you doing, Kelvin?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I keep saying I should find something else to say besides I'm doing well.
But if you're doing well, then it's
I'm doing fantastic. Holy smoke. I cannot believe how awesome this day is. How's that? I am, after all, the Prince of Positive.
You are.
That's it.
So does that mean, me being the bearded brain, that if you ask me how I am, I should always be responding pensive?
Are you always pensive?
No, but are you always positive?
Well, if I'm gonna say that on the podcast, well, yeah, I'm always positive. Okay, at least I'm positive about being positive.
Right, there you go.
Although
I positively would like to be
you
positive. I think about thinking a lot.
There you go. You do inculcate that whole bearded brain concept, and I'm glad you made it the bearded brain instead of the haired brain, because you got nothing on your head for hair there.
No, it's true.
So anyway,
haired brain sounds a lot like harebrained, which is the opposite of.
That's true. That's not what you're trying to.
That's not the image I'm looking for.
No, you're right. Okay, let's just erase that whole part.
Kelvin, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Josh. How are you today?
Pensive. What?
There you go. I see you have our little princess back over there again today.
Yeah, I'm sure you will hear her throughout the podcast. Somehow, she's been eating for an hour and a half, like actually in the act of eating for an hour and a half.
You know what I think, Josh? I think we create so much energy in the cosmos that she's just absorbing that, and as processes that energy, she needs to replenish her nourishment.
Yes, we are burning her calories instead of our own.
Is that the way that's working? we should probably break that connection at some point.
Yeah. would explain my waistline.
Oh well. I guess we should put the bearded brain on that one a little longer before we come up with a synopsis. Holy smoke! Yeah. Mm-hmm. Life is good. How are you?
I'm good. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's getting into summer here. I climbed into the car yesterday afternoon, and the dashboard thermostat read 95 degrees. And I know it wasn't 95 degrees outside. I know that the gauge is just sitting in the sun. The thermometer is just sitting in the sun. But, that means that it's probably in the mid-upper 80s here.
I remember those days. It's not May yet. So, yeah.
It feels nice being out. Well, it is when people hear this, but it's not May yet when we're recording this.
Right.
But it feels nice to step outside and be warmed by the sun.
Man, that was almost poetic.
As opposed to stepping outside into damp and cold and wishing you hadn't.
Yes.
I step outside, and it's like it's not into thick oppressive air yet. It's a nice warmed by the sun feeling. It's not the, oh, you came outside. Here's a wet blanket.
Yeah.
Soaked full of hot water. Like, no, thank you.
No. Well.
Yeah, like when the toast is just right, and like the butter melts on it, but you don't have to like like the butter melts on the toast, but you don't get these crumbly. You don't get like the top layer of the toast on the table.
Gotcha.
When you're putting the butter on there. Yeah, that's what it's like outside. It's just like a nice, lightly warmed.
All right. Well, I mean, that works.
Like a toasted marshmallow that you didn't set on fire. I'm running.
I do remember.
I'm running out of metaphor.
You are, and
and they're all food, which means I'm going to have to eat after we record.
Probably hungry. Yeah, you just made me aware that I need lunch. Yeah. Well, there you go. What the heck? We probably just play some music.
Podcast, where we talk about better humanhood and teach you how to dominate your world. You ready? Here we go. So, before we were recording, you said something to me that you thought was strange.
I say a lot of things to you that, oh no, I'm sorry, you normally think it's strange.
Right.
It's different, yeah. I did.
Remember? Yeah.
You probably want me to repeat that.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. What I said was, something weird. I don't have any heroes. And then you said something else.
I said, well, what's a hero really? Which I think I actually stole from Big Lebowski. But
it could be. So I don't know that I put hero, the term hero, in the, I tend to connect it with the other half of the word, which is hero worship, which gives me human beings which I worship, and I don't do that. I mean, there's a lot of people I like, respect, even admire. But getting up to the term hero status, I haven't gotten to. I used to say stuff like, talking about like Tony Robbins, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, if I had heroes, he'd be one. But it's not from a hero standpoint. It's from, I really have gotten a lot of wisdom and use out of things he has said and taught and learned and shared, and they've made my life better. But I haven't. He hasn't saved my life. Maybe if somebody had actually saved my life at some point, I would consider them a hero.
Right. So,
but I haven't had that at this point. So
I guess the reason that I didn't react quickly when you said that was, I kind of feel the same way. Like, there are certainly people who, if I have a conundrum,
mm-hmm.
I will think, what would so and so do in a situation like this?
Mm-hmm.
Or so and so's got what I want. And if I'm wondering how to approach a problem in my life, I might think about Ben Franklin. Or if I'm not writing enough for my own tastes, I might think about Stephen King,
mm-hmm.
or Stephen Pressfield. But no, I don't. They're not heroes. They're people.
Yeah.
Wildland firefighters?
They be coming close.
Yeah, I mean, you probably take the warship out is the thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are in great physical shape. They've got uh, great mental acumen,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic stamina, and they're doing something that saves lives.
Right.
That I'm not going to argue if you want to call that person a hero.
Yeah. As the world goes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had people ask me like, hey, who's your hero? Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people say their father. A lot of people say their mother. I don't. My mother was a saint. Okay, that's not quite true.
Two miracles, two verified miracles. That's what the Catholic Church says.
Is that what that is? Well, not killing me was probably her first miracle. But a lot of love for her, a lot of respect for her. I don't call her my hero. She born me, I suppose. But she taught me a lot of stuff about life and people, and I don't think she had any heroes either. But we haven't had the conversation lately. So although there are many people that I hold in very high esteem, I just don't classify them heroes. So maybe I just need to define hero at some point.
Should we do
or
that?
not? Or not? Because I don't think I've ever actually put a.
Well, what is a hero? When somebody asks you, who are your heroes, or who's your hero, what do you think they're asking you?
That's an interesting question. Maybe their idea of a hero. I have some of the old.
That was a great non-answer.
What's I'm not done not answering yet. I got a whole lot more not answering to go. I think of the old Wild West movies when the hero, I don't know, Lone Ranger, pick one, riding into town against incredible odds and wipe out everything, which just made him like really vicious and save the day for whatever. That I see heroes at that, and I just don't have anyone in my life that's done that for me that I am aware of. Right? How's that as a non-answer?
So I'm going to try to work my way back through that, and feel free to stop me if I'm putting words in your mouth. Okay. So in a situation like that, you're talking about somebody who comes in for a save or a rescue, right? So, yeah, I think about everybody's favorite classic Western, Blazing Saddles.
We're going to do hero at Blazing Saddles? Oh, no.
Well,
that was painful, yeah.
Same story, different way to get there, right?
Right.
You got the sheriff rides in, and he saves the town from destruction. So he's that town's hero. They didn't bulldoze the town for the railroad. But is it possible you don't have a hero because you've never needed saving? In a case like
possible.
In a case where a town is going to be bulldozed for a railroad line, they need saving. If your house is burning down, you might need a rescue.
Mm.
But if you don't actually need a save or a rescue, is it possible that you don't have a hero because you've never needed one?
I can go with that.
But I suppose that gets back to our hero versus hero worship.
Right.
If let's say hypothetically we needed a rescue,
Mm-hmm.
somebody comes in and saves us. That person's our hero in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But are they worthy of worship? Are they beyond human? Do their faults not matter anymore? Do they become blameless? Like what?
No, not really. Although I could be forever indebted to them, or indebted's a tough word. I hate that word too. But grateful, or maybe indebted, depending on what the situation was, for having saved me or my situation at that time. Yeah, but it doesn't remove them from responsibility for the rest of time. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. I'm not
Untouchable.
forever indebted to the bank who loaned me money for the house, but
Right.
for 30 years I'm indebted to the.
Till you pay it off. Yeah.
But we have an agreement on that indebtedness.
Right.
Yeah, they lent me the money. When I pay the money back with whatever interest, then
Pay their due.
Then we've satisfied that debt. If somebody saves you, you can't. There's no repayment agreement.
Correct.
There's no. Oh heck! I'm about to die. I should call Kelvin. He owes me a rescue.
Oh yeah, we got a contract.
Like there's no repayment agreement on that. So yeah, it's more of a forever grateful to somebody for doing the thing they did.
That's correct.
You were talking about
I'd like to cash in my hero.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were talking about your mother, right? Forever grateful that she gave birth to you.
Mm-hmm.
Can't ever pay that one back.
Nope.
You can never give birth to her in return.
That is correct. Not sure I'd try. Yeah. But yeah.
No matter how hard you try.
No matter how hard I try. Yeah. But that's just love and appreciation.
Right. And that's that's gratitude versus indebtedness, right?
Correct. Perhaps
you still, again, hero versus hero worship.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother probably, I didn't know your mother, so your mother probably had faults.
I'm gonna assume there was a couple in there somewhere. But she was a big, upstanding minister's wife. I don't know. I don't know. Can they have faults? No. She probably, well, I don't know if you call them faults, but she probably had a couple, She did beat my butt a couple times. I still loved her, though. But as faults go, I think all of those occasions were my fault. That was humor, Josh.
Yeah, I smiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh smiled. Let the record show.
Yeah, I know. That makes for bad radio.
There you go. Let the record show. Yeah. Yes. So, yes, you're correct.
One of the things we like to do on the show is actionable items.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go too far afield, let's, like we did last week.
Did we?
Before we go too far afield, what are we suggesting that people take a look at their heroes, decide whether they're worthy of worship? Is hero the right word? Is a hero truly who they are?
Well, I can't really speak for them, but for me, yeah, I would look at that, because I've looked at a lot of people, and I think maybe the other thing about hero, which we haven't voiced specifically, but you've alluded to, and we just haven't put it into words, was when somebody becomes somebody's hero, they have this status, this irrevocable, can never do anything wrong, right at all costs, kind of presence
Right.
in the world. And that's what happens with a lot of heroes is they do become larger than life itself. And perhaps that's the part that I truly do not adopt for them.
Right. And somebody can do everything, or somebody can get where you want to go, and you still wouldn't agree with them in all.
Right. No matter how many
areas,
times
right?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. It's
like,
not a blanket can do no wrong thing. Forgive them for everything. It's not one of those.
Right. Like Ben Franklin is somebody I talk about a lot. He was a curious guy. He invented a bunch of stuff. He wrote a lot. He did a lot of different stuff that I find interesting, and had an interesting brain. But he was also, like today online we'd call him a troll.
A troll? Oh,
yeah. So he would do things like, like he owned newspapers, and back then when you published a newspaper, you often wrote opinion pieces, and there'd be multiple papers in one city, so you'd often write back and forth about the other publisher. So he might write an editorial, and the publisher across town would write another editorial against that, and they'd respond to each other in their own papers. Well, he would do things like write under a pseudonym in his own paper about how great his editorial was, and he'd also send a letter under a different pseudonym to the other paper and say how bad that editor was. And then,
really?
and then he'd keep the pseudonyms going, and he'd respond in the other paper about a letter in his own paper, and he'd respond in his own paper about a letter in the other paper.
Oh, wow.
And so, it's really, it's funny,
bizarre,
but it's not something. But it's not something I'd want to emulate. I don't find it to be. I don't find it to be a move of integrity.
Yes, correct. I wouldn't do that either. I don't. Yeah, you're right. He did that, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, he was the first American troll.
Good to know. Wow. Well, that started a legacy, didn't it? Well, yeah. So we're not advocating that.
No, we're definitely not advocating that.
So yeah. So I think I've decided I'm okay not having heroes.
Yeah, totally good not having heroes. And even the people you look up to or who you would go to for advice, whether they were alive or dead, understand that they're also just human. They have or had faults, and not everything that they did is a shining example of what you should do.
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you for being here. Listeners, thank you all for joining us again. We are nearing, I guess 3 years would be like 156 episodes or something, 52 a year?
52 times. Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting near 3 years doing this, and we're glad that y'all are along for the ride. And we've picked up a bunch of new listeners lately, I've noticed. So, I hope you've been enjoying it, and I hope you stay with us, and I hope you share with your friends. Leave us some ratings and reviews. That's how people will find the show. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Show notes and more at jkwdpodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends, and we will see you next week. Bye. A Better Humanhood production.